or if you crack the base where it screws into, you're really screwed then, because iron cap and rotor is not sitting tight, and you not only have not good connection, but it leaves it open for moisture to get in there just from the humidity of the air. This is what it looks like here. Now this is actually sitting on a plastic like Lazy Susan, and that is actually driven by a shaft which has a kind of a gear, almost like a worm gear looking like thing, and that runs off of your camshaft, and that's how you're getting timing, right? Now you do have some ability to change the timing. You have about a 4-degree, either reduced, the other R word, which is no longer YouTube appropriate despite it being in an automotive setting, thanks YouTube, or 2 degrees advance. And that is just held in by a 13mm bolt, and all it does is allow you to rotate this a little bit in relation to the cam. Now you can also totally throw off your timing if you take the whole thing out and reinstall it in a way where it's not lined up with the camshaft in proper timing. That's another issue that can happen as well too. This is the magnet part here. So your central power comes from contact here. Now as this little magnet or kind of graphite material passes around and spins, it's going to pass by each one of these little studs here. And as it does that, it makes a little bit of, not quite contact, but very close contact, and allows a spark to jump across and then get distributed out through your plug wire and to the corresponding spark plug. And then here, of course, is your central pivot point. This is where your coil plugs into, which is going to be this guy here, labeled C. And this one is what's actually going to give you constant power from your coil. Your coil in this kind of truck is basically on all the time, and essentially is just this that distributes those sparks and makes the connection. It's like a rotating switch. Now these things will get consumed over time. Every time it sparks, a little bit of it burns away. Same thing with this here. And then of course you can see that this is just plastic, so if this gets corroded or damaged in any sort of way, this can just fragment it totally apart while it's spinning at relatively high speed. If you have any sort of corrosion going in here, you will have these developing that kind of greenish corrosion on there, which not only keeps you from having a good contact and a good spark, but also eats up the metal itself and basically makes this entirely worthless. Now you can kind of salvage these a little bit if your truck's been sitting for a while. Take off your cap and you can, well, very lightly with a very fine sandpaper, knock off that corrosion, and you could kind of revive it for another round, another tens of thousands of miles, potentially, depending on how much use it's seen and how badly corroded it is. However, as long as you can find it for the price, it's better. Just replace it. You're going to have a much better time overall. And that's it. It's a very, very simple, kind of modernized rendition of a very, very old school system that's been around for a very, very long time. But enough chit chat, we're losing daylight, so let's get moving.